Afternoon all. Well, I'm going to kick things off today with a little something for all you comic fans. Tim Quinn has edited, illustrated and written for some of the most famous comics in the world. Everything from my personal favourite, Bunty, to Spider-Man. Now he's taking to the road with a tour telling us about his 40 years in comics.
A year ago I was asked to do a book festival, that is to go and give a talk about the last 40 years I've spent working in the UK and the US for these extraordinary companies. I often get kids coming up to me now and saying, so how'd you do it, how'd you get in? I'm very, very lucky. I just went off to New York, knocked on the door of Marvel Comics, said any work going, and I was hired as an editor, and before I knew it I was editor of Spider-Man, the X-Men, Iron Man, all these characters who've since gone on to great fame and fortune in movies. The show is called AG, which is a comic book expression for when either something drops on your foot or you're screaming in rage at somebody. And basically it's the tale, the ups and downs of life as a comic book creator. But I also tell all about the history of comics, from the first cave wall drawings through the Victorian period when comics as we know them today were really created. Giving examples, showing examples of comic book work. So for example, you will see a Spider-Man cover that was pulled at the last minute because the publisher said, you can't have that going out, it's too sexy. With a movie, you're dependent on the budget as to how it's going to look. With the comic books, you're only dependent on the imagination of the writer and the illustrator. So you can go 10 million miles further than any movie maker can.
Tim will also be hosting a workshop in the afternoon before his show at Sale Waterside Arts Centre, where you and I can learn how to bring our characters to life. Now, chart